participants of the e-commerce group of the theROARstore. Thanks for tuning in to this tutorial on how to maintain our e-commerce site. First thing that you'll need to do is to get to our e-commerce site and to access the managerial tools, go to our PowerSchool learning page, go under the e-commerce tab, and you should find the link to the website along with the login credentials so that you can access it as a manager. When you click on that link, it should take you here to our manager site and go ahead and sign in. And we'll go ahead and get started. Mainly what you're going to be doing in this e-commerce group is you're going to be adding new products as they arrive. And sometimes that's a lot of work, and sometimes that's not very much work. It all depends on how frequently we purchase new products. The other thing that sometimes is a little bit more time consuming is dependent on the previous e-commerce group. If they didn't keep things up to date, it may fall on your shoulders to do some of the work that they should have frankly done. But let's go ahead and get started. There's really just kind of one major thing that you'll do. As you can see, we've got a couple of pages set up. We have an accessories page, we have a gift ideas page, we have a ladies or women's page, we have a men's and unisex page, and we have a youth page. If you wanted to add more categories, I would ask you first to check with me and make sure that we have enough items to go ahead and create a new category, or if you wanted to rename some of these, we could certainly do that. But again, check in with me first before you do that. What we're going to do is I'm just going to show you in the men's category how to go ahead and add a new product. The first thing that has to happen before the e-commerce group can even do their job is the inventory group needs to add new products as they arrive or as we order them. And in some cases, that happens in a very timely manner, and again, sometimes it does not. But we did order some new products recently, and I'm going to go ahead and pick out one of those and show you how to add that. This is kind of a labor-intensive process, but if there's 2 or 3 of you in the group, each one of you can be doing the same thing with different products, and it makes it go quite a bit faster. So you'll click on the category that you're interested in adding to. You'll go ahead and go to Add, and this is assuming that you've gone through the category to see what's available. Then once you've done that, you'll go ahead and select the appropriate item. I'll go ahead and select this first item. This is a men's quarter zip from Under Armour. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you should see it there. You'll need to highlight that product. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make a few adjustments here. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add $1 to the price of the product. That's going to cover any transaction fees that we have to pay for as a vendor when a customer uses a credit card. Of course, the category is already listed here. The description is whatever the inventory group named it. So for now, this description is fine. The next thing we need to do is kind of add an element of marketing to this. The comment section is an area that allows us to talk a little bit about the product, since of course the customer can't see it in person. The best way to do this is to find the vendor that we purchased the item from, look on their website or in their catalogs, and copy those comments over. This one happened to be from a vendor called The Graphic Edge, and these bullets here are great bullets to add to that comment section. So all I'm going to do is just copy and paste. I'm going to add these here. And since the bullets don't really come up, you could just add a hyphen. Oops. Add a hyphen here at the beginning of each one. And then the other thing that we're going to do, and you may need some assistance on this, is we're going to add how the artwork is actually applied. And I believe in this case, we had the artwork applied. We had the lion artwork applied using a heat transfer. So I'm going to go ahead and add that information for the customers. The starting and ending date we generally don't use, but if we happen to have some type of online special that was only going to be available for a certain period of time, that's when the starting and ending date would work best. Next, we have to add an image. I typically either get images from the vendor themselves or I create them on my computer. The best place to look for this is to go to the work group section of PowerSchool Learning, and you should be able to find pictures of all of the new products. Um, they're all hosted in a OneDrive folder based on the year that we ordered them. And here is that particular item. I've already downloaded it. So I'm going to go back here. I'm just going to choose select. I'm going to find wherever I downloaded it to, and I'm going to upload it to the e-commerce site. It shows this little green dot here says that it has updated, and even though that picture isn't showing yet, that should indicate that the photo is now there. Once we save it, we'll be able to double check that. The multi-part price levels, the charge transaction fee, the allow purchase with fines, the available to customers at any site are all going to be left blank. The only checkbox that we need to select here is the limit to quantity available. I hope it goes without saying that we only want to be able to sell as many of these items as we have in stock. We don't want to be able to sell more than what we actually have. So that's why we check that box. And assuming that our inventory numbers are correct, we will not oversell this item. The limit per transaction is going to be left blank, as is the item number and the featured button. The purchases by grade level and the block purchases are also going to be left blank, and so all we need to do is save. Now again, we can double check that this saved correctly by selecting that particular item that we just uploaded, verifying that the photo is indeed there. We've got all of our comments there as well, and I would suggest now going in here with your information and copying this, because as you may remember, when we sell an item in multiple sizes, they all have different SKUs. So the next thing to do with this is to go back and add the other items that are all the same product. You can see that the 2XL that we previously added to the e-commerce site is no longer available to add for obvious reasons, but we do have these next 4 sizes. So now all we're going to do is repeat that process. We'll again scroll down here to the bottom. We'll select the one that we just uploaded. We again need to change the price. We can now paste. We can now add our image from the same location. Green dot says that it's uploaded. Limit to quantity available, and save. We can again double check that the image actually saved. We're good there. And now again, repeat that process. In this case, 3 more times to make sure that all of the sizes that we have available are actually available to the customers in our online store. That's going to be the primary role of you as an e-commerce representative or work group member. So get used to this format. Another thing that I would strongly encourage you to do is I would encourage you to make sure that you have your own customer account so that you know if everything is working on your end. So I have one set up here so we can see if those 2 items that we just added worked. Now this is unlike your typical online store, so here's how this works. Customer creates an account. Once they create an account, they get to this page. It has their name right here. They can shop the items at the theROARstore. Then they have to go through the student store and the theROARstore, and now they get to our categories. This last category, or second to last categories, was what we had, and this is what the customer will now see. Based on the organization of the items that we previously just worked on, the two items that we just added should be at the bottom of the page. And here are those two items. You can see the 2XL and the large, and if we wanted to buy one of these items, it puts the check mark there. We now have a shopping basket at the top to check out. Okay, and now this customer is ready to check out using their credit card. They can remove the item if they change their mind, or they can continue shopping. So that is what the e-commerce store looks like. That is how the manager site is set up and how I need for you to update new items as they arrive so that our online customers can find the items at their convenience. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.